Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 813, recorded live on November 9th, 2024. And here are your hosts, the man who is sick for this recording, Dave Pillay.
Hello.
And the man who is basically sick for all the recordings, Andy Lowe. Hi.
Why are you sick for all the recordings?
I have small children.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you're just in a perpetual state of sickness.
Yes. What was that thing with Mr. Burns when he went
having
to the
all the
diseases
that are trying to get through the door?
What did they call that in the episode?
Oh.
Mr. Burns goes from a checkup. The Three Stooges syndrome, that's what it is.
Ah, I'm invincible. No, quite the opposite. Yeah, so, I mean...
Really?
You have kids, yes?
Mr. Burns is not voiced by Harry Shearer anymore.
Okay. I mean, The Simpsons is 38 years old?
34, I think.
34 years old?
Yeah.
So, like, that doesn't surprise me.
He's currently 80.
He's the age Mr. Burns is supposed to be. I have a feeling a lot of the original cast has actually left.
That's a good question.
Either that or, like, they've got to be phoning it in, because, come on.
List of Simpsons cast members. No, it looks like most of the cast is just...
still going strong.
Yes. Well, it looks like there's only, like, 6 people that...
That is also true. There are not many people who do the voices. A couple of them have left. I think the one who does the voice for Apu left.
Oh. Hank Azaria?
Did Hank Azaria do Apu?
He used to. Does he do it now? Now I'm curious. I remember hearing something about that because he thought this was getting a little ridiculous.
Right?
Voiced by Hank Azaria until 2017.
At which point, they no longer run the character?
I guess so. Since 2017, he has appeared as a background character. Wow. So their reaction to having him step down as the voice of Apu was to basically just write Apu off?
Yep.
Huh. Well, that's...
I mean, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. Try and find somebody else and then have some sort of Simpson logic where voice change it. Well, granted, they just changed the voice of Mr. Burns this year, it looks like.
I mean, you find someone who can do a similar voice, but, like, the whole point is that the character was a stereotype.
Yep. Yeah, the character in total, yes, was a stereotype. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
Now I'm once again trying to think of the last time I actually watched an episode of The Simpsons.
They show up on my like YouTube shorts way more often than I would expect.
You know who shows up on my YouTube shorts now? A lot?
Mr. Beast.
No. Game Changers.
Game Changer? Yeah, they do that.
Game Changer
they do that.
Shows up a lot.
Because the algorithm knows that it's a thing that you'd enjoy, Andy.
And I do enjoy most of them, but it's like, granted, I don't know what's going on in the episode, but it doesn't really matter because every episode is different.
It's funny to watch Brennan talk about birds.
Oh, the spoonbill.
Sorry, I'm looking for roseate spoonbill.
Oh, just watching.
You know the premise of that episode, right?
Yes, was to make him basically lose.
No, that's a different one.
I thought it was to make him crack or something like. No, it was. That was the heart rate episode.
Yeah, it was the heart rate episode. The episode to make him lose was the yes no episode.
Oh, I still
every
remember.
round was just a question of yes or no.
Oh.
And they came up with like 15 different ways of asking yes or no.
There was one where I think the very end of the episode, like Sam says, go. And they all just left.
Yep.
And somehow one of them ended up in New York City.
Well, they already had tickets and were like, they were planning on leaving the shoot and going to New York to see a friend. And so they just went.
And I love that they all carpooled to the airport, and they also like stopped at an In-N-Out burger on the way.
Yep.
Which they were just like, well, wait a second. If this is part of the episode,
we get to expense this?
Yeah. Do we get to expense this meal?
Yep. I think my favorites are the Sam Says the Escape from the Green Room was just a fantastic episode.
I still haven't seen that episode. I need to. I've seen bits of it.
Absolutely need to.
It's
so good. As someone who's done escape rooms, Andy, you would love that episode.
There is actually 2 new ones, I think, in the one here. I think there's 2 of them. Hold on. No, I don't want to go to the main page. I got to go to the local page. I think, let's see. Mayday, I did actually before it was released because I won a contest to do that. Antidote, I've done a couple of times. The Scooby-Doo one, that was kind of fun. Oh, there's a Batman one now.
I've lost the thread.
There's a Batman-themed escape room.
Ooh.
There's a Pirates-themed escape room. I haven't done that. There's a Haunted Church escape room. Haven't done that one just because don't really, the deranged minister of Crickley Church decided to kill his entire congregation. It's like, oh.
That maybe wasn't thought out well. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, let's see. Lost City, I've done that one. Arizona Shootout, I did that one the first day it came out here.
Mm-hmm.
Mansion Murder. It's a murder mystery sort of. Everybody is at a party. The host gets killed. You have to figure out who did it. And then there's the submarine one. That one is that supposedly was the hardest one for the longest time. So, man, some of these are gone that I've done already. But that's the problem with escape rooms is you kind of need sometimes. Well, there were some rooms where you had to have 2 people, so I can't do it by myself.
Gotta do something.
I know. I gotta convince other people to join me.
Yep.
Oh,
I'd join you.
By the way,
I would do escape rooms. Uh-oh.
There's another new Mountain Dew flavor out there.
What's this new Mountain Dew flavor?
This Mountain Dew flavor, wait so you'll feel old, is for the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft.
It is indeed the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And Mountain
2004.
Dew came out with 2 flavors. I have one of them.
Yeah.
I have the citrus blackberry flavor.
They didn't just call it citrus blackberry though, right? Like there's some, tie to the Horde or to the Alliance or something?
Nope. There are 2 flavors. There's citrus blackberry, and then I think the other one is citrus cherry. Double checking. Yep, citrus cherry.
Is the citrus blackberry blue?
I can't tell. It's in a can.
Now I kind of want to install WoW and just log in. Just to log in. I'm not going to because I'm not dumb, but it's certainly man, I wonder what it's like right now. There's probably some sort of in-game event. I bet you get a pet for logging in right now.
God, really?
Doesn't matter. Not logging in.
It's like the people's log in and get a mount. It's just son of a bitch. I spent forever getting enough gold to get a mount. Somebody shows up on a beast of some kind. You're like, son of a bitch.
I was a paladin, man. I feel your pain. I got my mount for free, but it was not for free. And the reason why it was for free is because it was balanced, because paladin abilities were fucking expensive.
Oh, the Mountain Dew Wiki says this is a dark purple color.
Okay. Lame.
Okay, so it's called citrus blackberry, but it says it has a blast of blackberry raspberry flavor. So where's the citrus part?
Yeah, I was going to say, none of that is citrus. It has a blackberry raspberry, but that's not citrus. Why didn't you call it black raspberry?
I don't know. But it's not bad. Granted, I've been drinking a whole bunch of Voodoo lately, so my baseline Mountain Dew flavor is not really there. Oh, I'm glad I got this one because it looks like that citrus cherry was actually a re-release flavor.
Boo!
So I've already had that one, but now I've had this one. Oh, and the streak goes on.
Yeah.
No, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's not Mountain Dew onion juice or anything.
Damn it. Andy, damn it. Why?
Because I had to call back to our last episode.
No, you didn't. You really did not.
Mountain
Dew onion juice. Ugh.
I actually put, surprisingly, at least to me, it feels like there's a surprisingly large number of video game topics actually this week.
Woo! return to our roots.
Mm-hmm. So would you like to talk some video games?
I would.
Okay.
I opened the list and immediately was like, oh, because I saw Transportation Tycoon.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed Transportation Tycoon.
Have you done OTT at all or no?
I've tried.
Okay.
I have tried. I have not had much luck.
Because
It's actually one of the reasons why I play Factorio to the extent that I do.
Because you like the...
There's an element of that Transportation Tycoon in there that I have not been able to get anywhere else.
Because I was on a kick for trying to find some different Tycoon games. I've actually got a couple on my phone that I haven't reviewed yet, but I was going to review.
Yeah.
If it was my week and I didn't have anything to review.
Just got them in your back pocket.
Yes. And OTT is one of those, which trying to play that on a cell phone.
Yeah, not made for a touchscreen.
No, it is not.
Can't imagine that's very effective.
No, I tried working on it for a couple of minutes, and then it was just like this is not built for this sort of interface.
No.
But Atari, in its retro brand...
Now, keep in mind, Atari isn't Atari.
No.
Right? Like, they went bankrupt years ago and sold the name.
But Atari is definitely trying, especially with the, was the 7800 Plus, I think, is the latest one that they came out with.
With, like, the retro console?
Yeah, I think the 7800 Plus is the latest one that just came out. With all the retro controllers and wireless joysticks. So they're definitely trying to capitalize on the retro aspect of things. And They have acquired now the Transportation IP. Transport Tycoon IP, which they already own Roller Coaster Tycoon and Locomotion.
Uh-huh. So are we expecting to see a, like, bundle box from them? Like,
I don't know. I'm curious to see what they would do with it. Because, yes, everybody talks about Transport Tycoon and how great it is. And I'm just like, okay,
but... game I have on my Steam wish list. I think I have it for early access. It's called... Where is it? In here. I know I have it in here somewhere. Sweet Transit.
Sweet Transit?
Yep. Go look up Sweet Transit.
All right. Sweet Transit. All right. Oh, look at that.
Look familiar?
Yup. Yes, it does.
It's 60% off right now. Huh. What to you, Andy, is the difference between the Transport Tycoon games and, like, Sid Meier's Railroads? Other than Transport Tycoon involves rail, air, sea, and pavement.
Yep.
Right?
It's one of those things that I've been trying to figure out, what scratches that itch, right?
Uh-huh. And
a lot of the Tycoon games, especially the mobile ones, are more of like the idle type games. But, it's like, what really, okay, so the last, Tycoon game that I could think about, if we want to talk about railroads, is the fact that, okay, you have the map out there, you have cities spread out, but, there's not one path to victory, right? You could do mail. I think there was one scenario in one of the railroads things there where you actually started to, like, build a rail network for a whole supply chain. It's like you started with a lumber mill and then you went to some sort of like carpentry thing and then, steel mill, that sort of stuff there. You built a whole line up there.
Right.
In order to sell vehicles, I think, or something like that. But there wasn't any direct, you weren't forced to do A to B, B to C, C to D. So I don't know. It's a very weird thing. I still haven't found the magic bullet yet, but you hit a lot of things that aren't what you're wanting. So I don't really know how to answer that question. That was okay. That was a long
a long roundabout way of saying I don't know.
I'm trying to like talk myself through it, and it's still I'm not hitting any of the things.
Yeah.
Now this could be, well, that's only on computer though. And my time on computer is minimal.
For now.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Kids are getting to the age where, like, they can have their own time.
Well, yeah. And, I've gotten more into the Marvel superheroes games, which reminds me, I got to hunt down 2 of the Lego games for the 360.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I got to hunt down the first Lego Batman game and Lego Marvel Avengers, I think is the name of the second. Lego.
Are either of them on Steam?
I don't know, but then I would have to see about streaming my computer to the big TV and getting all the wireless connect. Granted, we picked up a bunch of Xbox controllers because, no surprise, my Xbox controllers, after being
unused for 10 years.
Yeah, used and abused and then unused for a while. And then a couple of them I forgot to remove the batteries.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that took out a bunch of them. And then we were down to 2 of them. And there's 4 of us. And I was trying to find a game that, all 4 of us could play. Yeah. So first thing I needed to do was get 4 remotes.
Yep.
So I ordered some Xbox 360 compatible remotes. And it turns out how they're compatible is they plug in their, I think, Bluetooth remotes. Mm-hmm. Or something, and there's a dongle that plugs into the front of the 360.
Oh, gross.
So they're not direct, they are compatible with the 360, but they're not directly compatible.
Yeah.
So, if he wants to use it, he has to actually walk up to the console and turn it on.
For shame.
I know.
How awful.
That, I could be sitting on the couch and I just hold down my remote or my controller for a second and then everything turns on.
Yeah.
No, because his receiver is powered by the 360. So when the 360 is off,
the receiver is off.
Yep.
How terrible.
I don't know. Had I known that was a thing, I should have gotten some wired ones.
I remember working the tournament for Gamers Outreach and getting into a discussion where people are insisting that the wired controllers were preferred because they had a lower latency. And I'm like, you realize you're looking at milliseconds. And they're like, yep, yes, you are. We know that. I understand you're looking at milliseconds. That's the difference. And I'm like, shit, okay, well, all right then.
Nope, yep. I mean, we watched GeoGuessr finals. And
Sorry, say that sentence again.
We watched the GeoGuessr finals. Did you not know about this? Have we talked about this? I swear we've talked about this. Okay, so
GeoGuessr World Cup Finals.
Yes.
$100,000.
Yes.
For GeoGuessr.
Yes. This is they have streamed it on YouTube twice now. They did it last year and they did it again this year.
40 players compete in World League and regional majors, earning points that contribute to the world ranking.
Yep. And then the top people every year get invited to Stockholm for the finals.
The fuck?
Oh, it's crazy what these people know.
Holy shit. What? But what?
Yeah, okay, Dave, if you want to watch it, just watch this year's championship round, the finals.
Holy shit. What the hell?
Yeah, if you watch the final 8 players, one side of the final 8 players, 4 of them were the top 4 people in last year's competition, and the other 4 were all brand new people who started this year for the tournament.
Damn.
And yeah, no, the last, just those quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, those were just some crazy matches to watch.
Wow.
Yes. And if you really get into it, they had the A stream, the B stream, and the C stream for 3 days. So each of those streams is about 8 hours of content. Well, less because you can skip over between the matches. But yeah,
I should not be shocked at this. I should not be surprised at this. But this is just a little fun thing that we used to do, and now it's a international global tournament.
Oh, there are people who have written up whole documents on the meta for their going. The
meta?
Yes, there is meta on what vehicle is in each country,
because they aren't all Priuses.
No, Like the vehicle that did Mongolia has a tent strapped to the hood of the car.
And so if you look down, you can see it.
Yes. And there's ones about car color and antenna length will kind of narrow down what countries they are. And then people will also then look at the copyright to narrow it down even further. And that's just the vehicle. That's not even like the world. But there's like things about power pole meta. So people can look at the power poles and see, figure out where they are in the world. God, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. And it was just fascinating to see what these people knew. There are people who speak or they read Bengali, so they can tell what area code in Bangladesh they are in. Yeah, it's crazy.
Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, no, if you got some time, just watch the finals from this year, the last day, because there were some crazy matches going on. But
what the hell?
Speaking of games and streaming stuff.
Yep.
NVIDIA's got their streaming service called GeForce Now, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's the thing that shows up if I hit like Alt-Z when I'm in my game.
I don't know. All I know is called GeForce Now. It's their cloud streaming service.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out rather than putting in a price increase for their membership, they're going to put basically a data cap on playing. So new members that sign up for the service from 2025 onward will have a monthly playtime limit of 100 hours for the month.
100 hours a month?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I had this backwards. When you said streaming service, I thought you meant the thing like on my computer that lets me stream.
No.
This is cloud games.
Yes, this is cloud gaming.
This is their cloud gaming service.
Yes.
Okay. And they have a free tier?
Yes.
For 100 hours a month?
No.
The
free tier, I think, is like 1 hour. You get like 1 hour a day, I think.
Okay. I mean, for some people who can't actually like get more than an hour free time a day at the computer, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Maybe.
But it's also ad supported.
Yes. But if you have the pay level, well, 2 of the pay levels starting, most the new subscribers starting next year will have that limit. And then current active subscribers will lose their unlimited playtime in 2026. Unless you are the top tier subscriber, which is called the founder subscriber.
So not ultimate. This is a layer above ultimate.
Yes.
You have to go to the founder tier.
Yes. But yes, no, NVIDIA, rather than increasing the prices of their streaming cloud gaming service, they're just putting time limit on everybody. And if you don't use your whole 100 hours, you get to carry over 15 hours to the next month.
Okay. At least they're giving you that. 100 hours a month.
Yes.
Let's do a quick, reality check on that. That's 3 hours a day.
Nope. Would not be
Andy,
able
do
to.
you 3 hours a day to play video games?
No, I would not.
So this really doesn't matter to you.
No.
Like, even if you were to subscribe and only get that 100 hours, like, you're not hitting that.
Nope.
Okay. Now, 20 years ago, you could have hit that.
Yep, especially, in high school and college during the summer. Yeah.
Right.
Time where I think I gave...
No way.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
No way in hell.
Nope.
If Andy gets 100 hours a month of gaming, not on his phone, something somewhere is broken.
Yep.
I wonder how many hours of gaming you get on your phone.
Oh, boy.
Andy's like, all of it. All of it. Every piece of it. All of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I do Hearthstone on my phone while I'm waiting out somewhere.
You apparently do the Pokemon card game.
Yep. We're going to talk about that next week. Since somebody didn't even know it existed.
I did not know it existed until today, and I'm already level 5.
Isaac sent you an invite as well.
Yep, I just accepted it.
He's 8? I'm 10? Yeah, so we'll talk about it next week, but his pull luck
is
just
absurd.
Absurd, yes.
That's good. Good for him.
we're just driving back from picking up donuts today, and he's like, "Oh, look, I got a Mewtwo," and it's just like, son of a bitch.
Like, I want a Mewtwo.
There's that Lapras event that's going on.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Well, there's a Lapras EX event going on.
Okay.
And every time you beat him, you get a promo card. I just opened up his latest one, and it was the Lapras EX card that you can only get from that drop. And he got it on the first frickin' try.
Nice.
I'm sitting here at least 10 wins in, and I keep on getting mankeys. So many frickin' monkeys. But I'm happy for him because he's excited about it. So
yeah, and be excited for your kid.
No, I'm excited for him. My own personal luck, though, is yep. So the NVIDIA's decided to do gaming limits instead of increasing their prices. Let's see. Speaking of other things, Sega is going to be has posted a lot of games on Steam.
Didn't they also declare bankruptcy like a while ago?
Would have to have been after the Dreamcast.
Yes, it was.
Which, granted, the Dreamcast was...
I mean, I know they left, console gaming after the Dreamcast, and they said, we're going to focus on arcade and making games.
Okay, Sega stopped manufacturing consoles, become a third-party developer, and was acquired by Sammy Corporation in 2004. Sega Holdings was established in 2015. Sega Corporation was renamed to Sega Games, and arcade, entertainment, and toy divisions separated into other companies. In 2020, Sega Games and Sega Interactive merged to become Sega Corporation. Okay. Looks like they got split and then all the other fun stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, back
Sega,
to
Sega had
time.
put a whole bunch of their games online, different places. But for some reason, on December 26th this year, 60 of them are going to be delisted.
Oh, no.
Yep.
And you don't own them because they're Steam games. You just own access to them.
But, well, they said that you'll still be available. You just won't be able to. If you already have them, nobody loses the games that they've already bought, but nobody else will get new ones. And as some of the other places have suggested is that right after Sega pulled a bunch of Sonic games from the online stores, quickly shows up Sonic Origins on the online stores.
I don't know what Sonic Origins is.
Sonic Origins was their online remake of the original Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Okay.
For, $40 or $45 for the digital deluxe edition. So yes, they took the Sonic games that they had originally posted, removed them from the online stores, and then re-released it as... a remake of the game again. So it's like, okay,
right.
People are thinking Sega's going to do the same thing again.
I see.
So if you want to get your Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Toe Jam, and Earl, now would be the time to do it, yeah.
Echo the Dolphin.
I played that.
Nope, Echo, stop. That's been happening a lot.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's been... I've been doing Final Fantasy IX, and there's a character in there named Aiko, and it's been triggering the device.
Well, when the TV says it, or what?
I've been reading the text.
I see.
Yep.
Well, yeah, so Sega going to be delisting a bunch, so get it now.
Well, the getting's good.
Yep. Let's see what other news we got here. Well, if we're talking about Sega, we got to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo dropped news that whenever the Switch 2 is coming out or whatever it looks like, you will be able to play your Switch 1 games on the Switch 2.
Huzzah! The return of backwards compatibility.
Yep. No Wii U this time, which never made any sense to me whatsoever, but...
Right.
Yeah.
It was a bad design.
Yes, it was. But they're not making that mistake again.
Nope.
We don't know. I love how the fact that we don't know anything else really much about this Switch 2.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Do you think it's going to be the same form factor?
It's probably going to be similar if the games are, if it is backwards compatible. It's got to have a very similar form factor then, right?
Well, sort of.
Well, yeah, now that I think about it, because you could put the GameCube games in the Wii, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And The Pro controller for the Switch is basically an Xbox controller.
But, the Switch, you have to stand out a bit, though, with the, whole portability aspect of it.
I mean, ideally, you're going to keep that.
Yep. It wouldn't make sense to get rid of that, would it?
Not really. That would be weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we were flipping through the toy magazine, and we had hit the video game section because Isaac understands some of the video games there, and he saw the Switch there, and I'm like, oh, not yet for that.
But soon.
I don't know, at some point. Especially his cousins have a Switch as well, so we'll see. Let's see. More Nintendo news.
Yes.
Pocket Pair has
Palworld.
Yep. Has said exactly what Nintendo has filed their lawsuit about and how much money they're looking to get.
And the answer is?
Well, the amount that they were looking for, money-wise, is 5 million yen.
Isn't that like $50,000?
In this current exchange rate, $33,683.
$33,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that is to each company. So Nintendo and Pokemon Company each need
sure, but like
30
so that's $100,000.
Yeah, plus late payment damages, whatever that means.
Okay.
How many copies of Palworld were sold? Isn't it in the millions?
A lot of copies of Palworld were sold.
And the 3 patents, I don't remember if you remember the patents that we did talk about.
Vaguely.
Yes. So yeah, an injunction. So it is also putting in an injunction against Palworld. Which, okay, I could see that.
I think that's the big thing.
Yes. But the 3 patents that they had talked about, that we had talked about as well, there was the first patent, which refers to a system for using capture items that can catch characters encountered in a virtual space. The second patent is referring to an aiming system for deploying such capture items. And the third patent is referring to a system for rideable characters.
Okay, so like, does Link's horse count? Like rideable characters, like that's a lot. There's a lot of rideable characters in video games.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous. Like that's how is that enforceable?
I don't know. Rideable characters. See if there's a way to actually computing the motion of game characters with respect to other game characters, game objects, or elements of the game scene for simulating the behavior of a group of virtual soldiers or for pathfinding.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. There's
a lot of words there, and I don't know what that means.
Something about pathfinding, and I don't know. And of course, I try and look up the patents, and all it is just articles saying, hey, they were sued for this patent. It's like, well, tell me what the patent is.
They're like, no, we don't want to.
I'm just going to regurgitate what everybody else says for these things. Yeah. So yes, there are the 3 patents and the injunction and 10 million yen, which, is about
$100,000.
I don't even think you're going to get $100,000 even with the late fees.
I mean, I think the injunction is the big point, is they just want them to stop.
So
the $100,000 is there to make it sound reasonable, but they really just want them to stop.
Yep.
And be like, you can't sell this anymore. Nintendo, what are you doing? Like, on the one hand, awesome backwards compatibility. On the other hand, why are you suing these people? And why on such, like, broad, ridiculously broad categories?
Well, the Pocket Pair Post reports that these were all applied for and registered after Palworld first launched in January of 24.
Right. We know that.
Yeah. So it's like, because they had changed like the wording or something, right? I think we talked about that, where they had changed the wording just enough to get a new
patent. It was like a derivative patent of their old patent.
Yeah.
So Nintendo had a patent on rideable characters? Like, hang on. Something feels weird.
When one of a polarity of types of rideable characters that the player character can ride is selected from among the characters owned by the player character, and a riding instruction is given. The player character is made to ride the selectable rideable character and made movable. Problem is, I'm reading this thing here, and it's already been changed from Japanese to English.
Probably.
So I think this is with riding and then switching between objects to ride.
But it's that it's a rideable member of your party.
When a boarding object that the player character can board is selected from among the objects owned by the player character and a boarding instruction is given, causes the player character to board the boarding object and become mobile.
That's the bike. That's literally the bike from Pokemon.
That's what it's
describing.
Okay.
You have an object that you can board, although that could be a bike or it could be surf, like when you're boarding one of your Pokemon.
While the player character is in the air, the game program causes the player character to board an aerial boarding object that can move in the air from among the boarding objects and become mobile in the air, and moves the player character boarding the aerial boarding object in the air based on the operation input while the player character is boarding the aerial boarding object.
I think that's the hang glider.
Oh my gosh. I know this was translated, but I feel like if you asked ChatGPT to create a legal document
surrounding like Pokemon.
Yeah. Like describe Pokemon in a legal document. I feel like this is what ChatGPT would give me back.
I mean, there's one way to find out.
Are you going to ask Claude to give? Oh my goodness.
Write a description of the mechanics of Pokemon in the form of a patent in the type of language that would be used in a patent application. A formal patent-style description of the game mechanics of Pokemon. System and method for creature-based strategic combat entertainment. Present invention relates generally to electronic entertainment systems, more particularly a system method for implementing strategic combat between collectible virtual creatures and variable attributes and capabilities. Detailed description. Each specimen possesses 6 core attributes. Type interaction matrix. System implements complex interaction matrix wherein each type has specific effectiveness multipliers when used against other types. Combat system, experience points.
Right. Anyway, we'll see what comes of that.
Yeah.
In slightly disturbing news, the around 21% of game developers in Europe were laid off.
Holy shit.
Within the last year.
That's a lot.
Now, 15% were able to find a new job. 6.2% were laid off and still had not found a job. But 10%, when they got a new job, was in a completely different industry.
Well, shit.
Something is wrong when almost a quarter of your industry has been let go. Yes, some of them have come back and were probably hired by other studios, but really 1/5?
Yep. That's a high turnover rate.
That is a crazy high turnover rate, especially when 10% literally don't come back at all. Yes, they got another job, but not in their main field.
Not in the games industry.
Nope.
Although I do wonder, like, a lot of indie developers are people who were in the games industry, left and did something else, and then are like, I'm going to make a game myself while I'm doing this other thing. So they would not be counted in the games industry.
54% of game developers who responded to the survey said that they use AI in their daily work and find it helpful.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
At this point, like, use the AI.
Yeah.
I use Copilot to help me write SQL queries by having it just fill in boilerplate stuff, and it's so nice.
The problem is my industry is such a niche industry
Yeah.
It doesn't really help sometimes when I'm sitting there going like, okay, I'm just sometimes trying to get an overview of why something is set up this way.
Yeah, it's hard to do with AI.
Yeah.
Although now you can take pictures.
That's true.
AI has like visual interaction.
But still trying to figure out how a device is able to get, precise timing based off the GPS clock. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, there's something, especially with some sort of rubidium backup. I think rubidium is an element, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of these have rubidium timing clocks in them. Trying to figure out how all that stuff works is been interesting.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Mass Effect TV series, which, after watching some of the Fallout series, okay, I could get behind that.
Amazon?
Yes.
So that's what they were being all proud of. Is, look at us, we made a Mass Effect TV series.
Well, they're going to. Mm-hmm. The problem I have is the writer of the series is the same guy who wrote Fast and Furious 9. But
writer of the series.
Yeah. The writer of the series was the one who wrote the screenplay for F9, the Fast saga.
I think I lost your audio for a minute.
Oh.
Because all I heard was the writer for the series and then silence.
No, the writer.
Like, yes. What about Andy? Hello. What about the writer of the series?
The writer of the series was the guy who wrote Fast 9.
F9.
So, F9. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. And that's a mark against this person.
Well, I haven't seen Fast 9, but
How dare you, sir? How dare you judge F9 and its writing, having not watched it? Didn't you like the Fast and the Furious series?
I know, and I think I saw. Did I stop at 5 or 6? Hold on, let me look up a synopsis. Oh, all right, so I already saw 5. Did I see Fast 6? Yeah, I saw 6. Okay, maybe it was 7. No, I think I saw 7. Yep, I saw 7. 7 was the last one I saw.
Okay.
Gosh, they all start to blend together.
Something family, something cars.
Pretty much. Yeah, but the executive producer of the series was the same executive producer who did the
Netflix Marvel movies.
Yes.
Or not movies, Netflix Marvel shows.
Yes, the Netflix Marvel shows, which
are sort of canon. Kinda? Like, it's implied that Daredevil happened.
They were good, though.
They were good. I don't know how much of that comes down to the producer.
I don't know.
My knowledge is that the producer just writes the damn check.
Well, the producer has a little bit of a say about what's going on. It's the showrunner and the producer mainly for TV series that are the ones who really have the overarching idea. Directors come and go for TV series. Writers are normally just like a writer room. Normally a writer room. So we'll see how a single writer does this.
I'm sure there are other writers involved in this.
Hopefully.
Usually you have a head writer.
Yeah.
But even then, like, the producer is usually different than the showrunner.
Yeah, yes.
And the showrunner is the one who's responsible for, like, the decisions on direction.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time since. Granted, when I first learned about all this stuff, that was just with normal TV. Netflix streaming stuff wasn't around in 2000. Was Netflix stream? When did Netflix start streaming? 2008, 2009.
Longer ago than I want to.
I'm just making Dave feel old.
When did Netflix start streaming? 2007.
Oh.
1,000 films on demand.
No, Netflix started in 2007. When did they start doing their own stuff?
In 2007, the company launched a streaming media service. 1,000 movies on demand compared to 70,000 available on DVD.
Well, I know, but I mean, when did Netflix
when did they start producing their own stuff?
Yes.
Oh, that's a different question.
I think it was 2016, right?
In 2006, Red Envelope Entertainment expanded into producing original content.
Oh.
So before they started streaming, they were making their own content.
Well, that's crazy. Didn't see that one coming.
Yep. Netflix licensed and distributed independent films such as Born into Brothels and Sherry Baby, and expanded into producing original content with filmmakers such as John Waters. Netflix closed Red Envelope Entertainment in 2008.
And they probably opened up like Netflix originals, I think is what they called them back then. But back, when I learned the structure of TV production, it's a way different ball game now than it was back then.
Yeah. Development of original programming and distribution expansion in 2013. In 2011 began its efforts into original content development. House of Cards.
Oh, yep. And that was during the end of the Obama era.
2011?
Possibly.
Andy?
Yeah?
The Obama era went till 2016.
Yes. Okay, so it was in the first half of the Obama era.
Yes.
Okay.
Obama was elected in 2008, took office in 2009,
yeah,
and served 2 terms.
Yes, that would be 8 years. Well, anything else on this list that you want to talk about?
Dragon moved the ISS.
Yes, they tested this out. This
is a little worrisome.
So Dragon, this was a cargo Dragon spacecraft, lifted off on the 4th, attached to the ISS on the 5th, and then today on the 8th, while it was still attached to the ISS, it fired its, I think it's fired one of its maneuvering thrusters.
Sure.
And
pushed the ISS.
Yes, pushed the ISS up a little bit.
Continuing his descent to Bond villain.
Well, no, this was asked for by NASA.
I gotta say, kudos not just to the people who designed Dragon, but the people who designed whatever attachment mechanism is currently hooked onto Dragon.
Yes, because this has been going on, but historically this was normally done by the Russian Soyuz capsules.
Yeah.
And NASA was like, well, wait a second. We don't want to...
We'd like to be able to do this too.
Yes, we'd like to be able to do this on our own. So they had it tested out with the Dragon capsule.
Okay.
And it was able to do it. Granted, we tried this out, and in 6 years, we're gonna 5 years, we're gonna drop it in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, sometime in there. It's a little worrisome.
Yep.
But they managed to push it.
Yes.
Good for them. I'm sure they are thrilled.
Oh, China had their 15th annual China Space Conference.
Okay.
And they announced the new plan for the Long March 9 rocket. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the slide that was shown during the presentation of their heavy launch vehicle, it looks surprisingly like...
Unsurprisingly.
It very unsurprisingly looks like Starship.
Yeah, of course it does.
You look at it and go, yep, nope. It even has the little front flaps at the top, the little flaps on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they stole Starship. Yes. We'll see what comes of that.
Yes. We'll have a fully reusable first stage powered by 30 engines, fueled by methane and liquid oxygen. And then, they want a fully reusable upper stage as well, which, looks exactly like Starship's second stage. Yeah. China intends to try flying this in 2033. So we'll see. Who knows how many Starship flights we'll have by then, because according to SpaceX, the next Starship flight is going to be on the 18th?
Of November?
November, yeah.
That's very soon.
Yeah. Did I not put that on here? I don't think I did. Oh my, yeah. Starship update. Flight 6, currently slated for November 18th. They are going to do basically everything they did last time.
But they want to push it a little higher into orbit.
Yes, they're going to try relighting the engines while it is in space, which they haven't done yet for the second stage yet. That's going to be the next one. They said, we're going to do everything the same. I think this will be the last flight of the Block 1. Because I think Elon said in one of his things that Flight 7 is going to be the first Starship test flight with all of the Block 2 hardware, which is the current hardware at the moment.
Right.
So I love how they're still doing all these tests and everybody amazed with this. And it's just like, yeah, no, this is the old model.
We're already moving on.
Yep.
We're already beyond this.
Yep. So Flight 6, in theory, should be the last of the Block 1 stuff. And then Flight 7, whatever that's going to be, it will be with the new Block 2 setup.
Jeez.
So yeah, November 18th, they'll then try it again, this time with a in-space relight of the second stage.
Cool.
Well then, should we hit the randoms?
Randoms. I believe it is my random review.
Yes.
I would like to review, now that it is winter. Well, not yet. It's still fall. It is still fall. That's actually very important. I say this like every year. It's very important to remember that no matter how cold the temperature gets outside, it's still fall until the very end of December. Because like psychologically, super important to remember that.
Okay.
And in fact, it was like 80 degrees here a week ago.
It is currently 48 here.
It is 48 here. Look at that. In my house, I have my home office upstairs. It's our gaming room. It's not really an office. We just call it the office, but it's got my computer and Laura's computer. It's on the second floor. It's on the southern side of the house, so it gets direct sunlight all day, every day.
Yep.
It gets pretty toasty in here. It can usually get, like, especially in the summer, if we have both computers running, it can get 15 degrees warmer in this room than the rest of the house.
Yep, I had at my parents' house, my bedroom was on the south side.
Yep.
Where there were no trees blocking the sun.
Yep.
So I had that sun coming into my room from like sun up to almost sundown every single day.
So like it gets really toasty in here. So this year, in previous years, I'm like, maybe we can do something with like the air conditioning and like, if we close the air conditioning in the rest of the house, then all the cold air goes to this room. And maybe, I built a fan to put on the vent to try and like force more air through. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. And this year I bought a window mounted AC unit. Now, here's the thing. I actually had bought a window mounted AC unit a couple years ago, but my windows do not accommodate window-mounted AC units. The way the window is set up, like the saddle for the window, like it just doesn't work for a window-mounted AC unit. So I was like, well, fuck. But this year I found this one, and my sister actually sent me this as a link, and I'm like, oh, this actually looks like it would work. As opposed to sitting with the base of the air conditioner on the bottom of the window, it's a saddle. It goes around the wall. So it sits in the window, but it's like a U shape. It's an upside down U. It's an N. It's a lowercase n shape. And so it sits on the window, like on the saddle of the window, with part of it outside and part of it inside. And then there's just a thin channel to have the air flow back and forth. And it fit into the window. And it works. And it makes the room significantly cooler. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy with it, because what it meant is, like, in years past, when we've been in here during the summer, we had to turn the air conditioning in the house to like 68 to live. Yeah. Because it was so hot in here. And then the rest of the house is freezing. Mm-hmm. Didn't have to do that this year. Set the house to be like 74, and it was still in the low 70s in this room because we just had the air conditioner running.
Now it's kind of like a mini split here a little bit, just in one box.
Yeah, and you don't have to drill a hole in your wall.
No, and I just like the fact that, it looks like a full-size window unit, but then you also get, your whole window, basically.
You get most of the window. Yeah. Now, we did put this on the side window that points to the neighbor's house. So that window is closed most of the time anyway. But it could be open, and we have the you have the window from it. It's really good. I like it, honestly. I think it's a clever design for a window unit. I think they did a good job with it. I think I bought one that might be too big for the room.
Oh, does it cool down too quickly and it cycles too fast?
Well, it doesn't cycle too fast because I can just change the temperature, or I can turn it off. It's got a remote. But it's just, I got the 8,000 BTU and I have a 144 square foot room. And a quick Google for BTU versus room size air conditioner. says a small room for 100 to 250 square feet is a 5 to 6,500 BTU unit.
Yeah.
I have an 8,000 BTU unit.
No, that's a bit of an overkill because
8,000 says it's for a 350 square foot room.
Yep.
Twice the size. More than twice the size of this room.
Well, you do have two significant
That was my other take on it is like, I have a 800 watt power supply. Laura's got a 900, a 1,000 watt power supply. Like, we're running the computers hard. They're running the graphics cards at full blast. I wanted to go a little more than I needed.
Yeah.
Because I needed more.
No, the only thing with it is just the fact that sometimes it will cool down too quickly and not able to really get itself warmed up. So it would be a hard start and a hard stop. It's just like running your car engine. You know, sometimes you got to let it actually
I have not run into that issue yet.
Oh, well, that's good. There were some of them with certain temperature sizes for some of our transmitter buildings, and they're like, "Are you sure you want this?" And I'm just pointing at this thing and going like, "This thing."
This is a 500 megawatt transmitter.
Well, no, it's just this thing is, a 10 kilowatt transmitter and it's a tube-based transmitter. So imagine a 10 kilowatt light bulb, basically. That's how much heat this thing is giving off.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, those old tube transmitters, so inefficient.
Yeah.
I actually replaced one with a solid state transmitter, and I had to put a heater in the room because it was getting too cold in there. Because nobody thought about putting a heater in that transmitter building when there was a tube-based transmitter.
Because you didn't need to.
No, you didn't need to.
It would never turn on.
Yeah. Well, this is a nice little thing.
Yeah,
you gotta definitely
really
have to have room though in front of the window and on the wall.
Well, generally, room on the outside is not a problem. When you're on the second floor.
Well, I was just thinking of Kate's little office/guest room on there. The window leads out to the roof for the extension in the back, and I'm not sure how much space is between the window and the roof line right there.
I see.
And there are some windows here where, we've got stuff right in front of the window right there. So might not be able to put all that whole honkin' bit. How deep is the inside bit?
The inside bit?
Yes, the part that sits on the inside of the house.
8 inches deep.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Nope.
Well, it's an interesting idea and an interesting setup. I'll have to keep that in mind.
It works pretty well. I'm quite happy with it.
All right, well, shall we hit the random topic?
We probably should.
Yep. Random topic, rolled ahead of time. Are you going to watch the online economic history workshop?
No.
No. Well then, that's a wrap.
Was that it? Was that literally it?
That's the random topic. Are you going to watch the online economic history workshop?
Nope.
Nope. I don't have time to watch the things that I do want to watch.
True.
Let alone, do they have the 2024 conference will take place in December. The theme is labor unions and the state.
Woo!
The papers are still in submission form. So let's see, what were some of the past workshops? 2022 was war and the economy.
Thrilling.
Yes, the thrilling thing of the decline of U.S. manufacturing productivity between 1941 and 1948. Secret inflationary finances in Israel's War of Independence. Draft evasion, government repression, and the origins of the Sicilian Mafia. Topics from the 2022 online economic history workshop. But yeah, no, I'm not. They are available. These things are on YouTube. So
pass.
If you wanted to watch them, you could.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I have a feeling this is a Hans submission.
Really? What in the world could have given that away, Andy?
I don't know. Online economic history workshop.
All right, I think we're done here.
Yes, we are so done. I'm so going to bed. This is a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at rapodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.